Hey everyone, thank you for joining in to the Basem Hanna Podcast. Today is a very special day because I'm not talking directly into the camera by myself. I have the honor and pleasure of having my boy Rick Dhillon here with us. Rick, you want to say hi to the camera?
What's up, guys?
So just a bit of formatting news for how we do the podcast when we have guests. Rick's going to give a brief introduction about his professional life. This is an entrepreneurial podcast, so we want to get that out of the way. And then we are going to go into a lightning round, which I will explain. And then we're going to chop it up a little bit and we'll send Rick on his way.
Sounds good.
Rick, with that, why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
Yeah, before I get into that, I don't know what.
Don't mind this.
I don't know what all this is.
That's
but
for Act 2.
We'll get into it. All right. So about myself, listen. Much like you, bro, I kind of figured out things a little later on when I got my real estate license back in 2005. Typical realtor. Tried to figure it out. Ended up figuring it out. Sold a whole bunch of homes. But what I think that I did that was set me up for the future. I took my commission check because I had to build capital.
For sure.
Like, how am I going to go ahead and make this money? So I felt like get my real estate license. We didn't touch that yet. Get that capital. So I really wanted to invest into real estate.
Right.
So I took those commission checks. I invested into real estate. I did it at the right time in the right city. You know what the real estate market been happening for the last
like 10
15,
years.
20 years, right? Fast forward, got into a little bit of developing, not huge, not like what you're trying to do, but I just dabbled. But I really found my forte lately into a company that I joined recently called EXP Realty, which is a disruptor. Yeah. I found the disruptor in my industry.
EXP very fascinating. Like, I have questions and I'm like suspicious, but in a good way, I was like, damn, I want to know more. But anyways, we'll talk about that. So I was better
at growing the company than I was a realtor because at the top of my real estate game, I was like top 1% in the country. But now we're like top 1% of the 1% in the world when it comes to EXP. So that's kind of real estate everything, if you will.
That's wild. How many brokers or how many agents do you have working with you now?
Man, we got over 400 now. Yeah. And we did that in a quick
crazy,
time.
Bro. I met you 2 years ago, right? Yeah. During COVID, right? Through your wife, Sonia. And
shout out to Sonia.
Yeah, shout out to Sonia, by the way. Like, what the connector's connector.
Yeah. We call her the plug.
Yeah, it's straight up.
My wife's the plug. She introduced us, right?
That's what I'm saying. And we went out, and you told me the story. And at the time, I think you had like 5 or 10 agents.
Dude,
like, it was
during the COVID pandemic.
Yeah, it was wild.
I couldn't even talk to people. I'm like, you want to meet up and know about this company? They're like,
but just think about how crazy that is. Like from basically 0 agents to over 400 and into 2 years. Like, that's not a lot of people do that, man. We're going to talk about all of that.
Cool.
Okay, lightning round. We got to spice up the podcast, and also like we're gonna loosen up our guests. So this is how this works. We're gonna take turns firing questions off at each other. You have to answer the question honestly, and if you don't want to answer it, you have to do a shot. That's the rules. It's a simple game. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I don't know how deep you're going to go with these questions. You're prepared.
I will not. I mean, I would like to think you're going to be prepared. You wrote questions down.
I have 3.
Okay. I have 5 plus a backup in case you...
I have 3. I got to make 2 up on the go. I got 3. I don't know how deep. I'm going to see your questions first.
Okay, I'll go first. So this is... Okay, so this, you can only answer honestly, right? And if you don't want to answer...
I got integrity, dog. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, okay.
I got you.
Based only on our previous golf outings together, which one of us is the better golfer?
Which one of us is the better golfer?
Yeah, like who won when all the times that we got out together? It's a one-word answer, bro.
Let me break down this question. Look at this guy's a lawyer, right? Based on our previous golf outing together.
Sounds like he's doing a shot.
So listen,
yeah, do a shot.
On the 17th hole, you're like, okay, we're going to be playing for something.
That's not how that went.
Okay, or maybe 50. It wasn't in the beginning.
Back 9.
Okay, was it back 9?
Back 9.
Okay, I'll give you that. You won. By the stroke 2, but we weren't really competing. I don't know if you're the better golfer. But I will answer that question. I will give credit where credit's due. You hustled me into something on the 9th hole. Say we're betting.
Biggest asterisk
and
ever.
I was just shooting the breeze. He won. But He's not the better golfer. I wouldn't say you're the better. I would say let's do
That's
this.
That's based on 100% of the data points available to us.
Look at this. True. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's do it again.
It's your turn.
I got one.
Okay, go.
Favorite subject, golf.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to be honest.
I'm 100% honest.
Okay. And I'll call you out.
I swear.
Okay. Have you ever cheated in golf?
You know what?
A lot of people that are gonna play with you are gonna watch. Are gonna be watching this.
I do my shot. Okay, you want to play games, eh?
All right.
Who cries more in movies, you or Sonia?
Me.
You bitch. Okay, go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
100% me.
Okay.
That girl. She's heartless. No, definitely me. You sold a company, right?
I did.
How much you sell that company for?
That's not what do you mean? Like, that's not I didn't sell the company.
Let's drink the shot.
No, what are you trying to ask?
I just want you to drink.
No, you drink a shot. I did sell a company. Us and all of our investors made a significant amount of money.
I think that's a shot.
No, that's bullshit. You didn't even ask the question. How much did I sell it for? When we sold it, it reached a valuation of at the time we sold it, something like $300-400 million. But then it went up from there. So, you know what? That's not a shot.
We got to cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
We got to cheers to that. That's something. I'm proud of you.
Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers to that. That's good stuff.
Okay.
You're living in your dream home.
I am. Thank God.
Was there ever a point in your journey? Because I know how much you and your family love this home.
Yes.
Was there ever a point in your journey where why did I do this?
100%. Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's a lot of times.
At what point? It's all the renovations and stuff like that?
Every time that we walked through and it was still under construction, the size, we're on paper, we thought we were building something. When you build that out in scale, it was huge and it intimidated us. But then once we moved in, it was man, I can't believe we feel very at home and we love it. Spell initiative correctly on the first try.
INITIATIVE. Boom.
Yeah, that's impressive. I don't think I could have done it.
There you go. So now that I got it right, do you got to drink a shot?
No, that's not how this works.
Okay. I got to get a creative shot. I got to make this up.
You're definitely going to do a shot on your last one.
I have one in here. I don't want to ask you.
No, we're almost on our last ones.
It's two.
Go for it.
No, I'm not going to ask you that. Because that's going to
I've got one that's offensive.
I don't want to do that.
I'm about to ask you an offensive one.
If you do that, I got it. Something.
Okay, go.
I just want you to drink this shot. So Fine. Tell me.
I'll hold it just for
when. What are you getting your wife for Christmas? When I buy you a drink it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good one. That was automatic.
Okay, I got you. Along those lines, you have two boys, right? Which one of your children do you love more?
How dare you, bro?
Oh, sometimes the shot's better, right?
Oh my God. I remember back in the day when I used to go, when I was a 9-to-5er. God, I'm so glad I'm not a 9-to-5er. But I
cannot do that life. The 9-to-5 life. It's if it's for you, that's amazing.
Don't judge me. I tell my kids not to be 9-to-5ers. I teach them about entrepreneur. I said, listen, you're in school.
That's cool. That's cool that your kids are old enough to receive that.
I subliminally tell them. Yeah. You should ask me to spell that.
No, bro.
I subliminally tell them not to be a 9-to-5.
But they see you working. They're watching you.
My wife and I are both entrepreneurs.
Yeah. They're in a blessed house, bro. Your kids are going to do very special things.
Yeah.
I've met them before too. They're solid.
I think I need to thank you.
Yeah.
I think I need to voice it to them because if I had a wish for them, it would be to be an entrepreneur. You always bring it home. You don't take it away. Your weekends are not really your weekends.
No, there's no such thing.
I get all that. It's probably more work. At the end of the day, more work, less work. You're building your empire for yourself. You're creating something. And it's that journey that I feel either be an entrepreneur or be an intrapreneur. What I mean by intrapreneur is if you're going to work at a company, be the G, like work up, make a difference in that company. Like
you don't always need to be the top of the pyramid. Like every block matters. And if you do your job right, like the pyramid grows.
What's that guy's name? Who's the owner of the LA Clippers? What, Scotty Bowman? Scotty Bowman, I think, right?
The Clippers?
Clippers, yeah.
Ballmer.
Steve Ballmer. Yo, I'm a Raptors fan. Come on now. I'm a Raptors fan. What did I say? Scotty Bowman. Okay, anyway, Steve Ballmer, right?
Yeah.
So Steve Ballmer, a billionaire, right? But he started as
number two.
He started as an entrepreneur at Apple.
Yeah, that's true. That's
right?
true.
And he worked his way up. He bought a share. So do that. If you're going to do that, build something, become a part of it.
Did you bounce around a lot in your jobs?
No, I think for what you're saying is you just bet on yourself. You trust yourself.
I would trust myself, man. If I would rather shoot that shot and miss and live with the fact that I missed it, then
this is the first time in my life, bro, that I'm betting on myself heavy.
Yeah.
Because I built that capital betting on real estate.
Right.
I'm actually, for the first time in my life, not putting all my capital in real estate and putting it back into my business.
Which is in real estate, but it's different because you're betting on
putting
ops.
It on me.
Yeah, you're betting on ops.
Right? You put it, either you put it on your business or you put it in real estate or whatever you're good at.
Sure.
But
I resonate with that because we have a lot of the same in us. Okay, tell me about EXP, or tell the world about EXP that doesn't know, because when you I'll tell you something. When you first told me about it, like, when we were golfing, I'm like, yo, this guy's in a pyramid scheme and he's gonna get fucked. Like it was like a whole. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But then I have been watching and getting proven very happily wrong throughout the process. Say it in your own words.
I like, I've been that guy that has been out there in the community and stuff like that. So I've been approached by like Amway and WFG and these pyramid kind of things that you're talking about. But this was in my industry. And actually, when you understand it at a high level, it's not that. What Glenn Sanford, the creator of EXP, did when it comes to that portion of the company, he did a few things, but this thing in particular, he actually got rid of the franchise model. So okay, if you wanted to open...
Can you dumb it down for me?
I'm going to dumb it down. I'm going to dumb it down.
I am not a real estate agent or a real estate broker.
You know how people open up a Tim Hortons?
Yes.
Okay, they go get a franchise from Tim Hortons.
There's like the corporate parent, and they send you, they say you can open in this location, and then you run that location for them.
McDonald's, Tim Hortons, same thing.
Yeah.
That's a Remax.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you open.
They break up the country.
Yeah. And I'm not saying Remax. I'm just using Remax as an example. All right. That could be Remax or Royal LePage. Actually, Remax was one of my favorite companies. I'm not going to lie.
I'm sure they're great.
In my journey, it was. But so the point was, so let's use Remax as an example. Say somebody wanted to open up a Remax or a Royal LePage or a Century 21. It's like opening up a Tim Hortons.
Okay.
You open up a franchise, you pay the franchisor, you're the franchisee, which gives you the right to grow the Remax, which is growing realtors.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay? You're hiring realtors.
In your box.
In your box.
Okay.
What Glenn Sanford did, boom, he got rid of the franchise model.
Okay.
You can't have an EXP franchise even if you wanted to. So what he said, every agent that partners with me at EXP is already an owner.
Got it.
You help me grow the company. And the more people you help me grow, I'm going to pay you.
Okay.
No franchise fee, no $300,000 to buy it, nothing. So entrepreneurs like my mentors and myself, we took this and started a business out of it.
Right.
There's a lot of money to be made in rev share. I'm not going to share it, but I showed you on the golf course.
Yeah, that was my last question, by the way.
Go ahead.
Show me your rev share.
I'll show that shit.
Show me. Last time I saw this number, it was like $10,000 a month.
Yeah, passive. So how are you? And that was like a year ago.
Yeah.
It's at least 4 or 5. It's like 4 or 5 times that now.
God bless, bro.
Okay.
That's a cheers.
Right?
But
that doesn't count all the real estate I sold and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course, the commissions are yours.
Yeah. One of my mentors at this is making...
That's you growing. That's like, can I describe it in like layman's terms? Okay, so if somebody recruited Rick, there's like a pool of commission that goes for like the recruitment process. They get a piece of Rick's recruitment, and then Rick gets a piece of everybody he recruits under them, and that person gets a piece of everybody that Rick recruits under them as well.
Yeah. So basically they replaced the broker owner with agent ownership. Let's go back to that Tim Hortons.
Yeah.
You opened up a Tim Hortons. Let's equal that into a brokerage. That gives you the right to hire real estate agents. When those agents sell houses, you get a piece of it.
Right.
He replaced the broker owners with realtors.
Got it.
It's friggin' phenomenal. He's a genius. You know, very once in a lifetime.
How are like companies like Remax liking this EXP model? Because it's kind of like, is not good for their business, or it's great to have more agents, or what's the deal?
Listen, you know what? Anytime a disruptor comes along, people that invested so much in a company, they're not going to like it. Like a picture when like Ubers first came out, taxi drivers like, you take an Uber, they're not insured, you're going to get kidnapped.
For sure.
The bad part about it is the part that I don't like, just be tasteful about it.
Yeah.
There's a new product in town. You're still going to keep your share. For the people that want to come to EXP, let them come. I don't like all this bashing. Like that whole pyramid scheme thing that's coming, it's coming from broker owners. It's coming from people that are like spent so much money in doing the same thing. This guy came on, he actually created a union for realtors. Check this out. Ready?
Tell me, bro. Tell me. Hit me
you're
with
a
the
top
fact.
realtor. You.
Okay.
Basem's a top realtor.
Damn right.
Okay, yeah. If you were, had
If I
your
was a
real estate
realtor, I
license,
would
you would.
sell the shit out of
You're a
these
top
things.
realtor, and let's say you sell 100 homes a year.
That's good?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
And the GTA is good.
That's fire.
Because 100 homes a year is like, you know,
I have no, I'm
$30,000,
so
$40,000
ignorant.
average commission check is pretty good.
Okay, wicked.
Okay. So now, let's say you sell 100 homes a year, you're a top realtor. Yeah, it's good. Okay, so now watch this. What happens January 1st of the following year?
Do it all over again.
My man.
Yeah.
You're on a transaction treadmill. Yeah. Now, let's say you do this for 20
You
years.
gotta sing for your supper.
Oh.
You like that?
You got to sing for your
You gotta
supper.
sing for your supper. Yeah.
So this guy came along and he said, like, let me give you an exit strategy. Let me give you a future plan. Watch this. If you go revenue share, you enjoy it for your life, you enjoy it for your retirement, you can will it to your children. So that revenue share that I showed you, if I pass away tomorrow, I can will it to my children. One last thing about this guy, Glenn Sanford. I've been into talks when I was at Remax. David Littiger was on stage. I've been into Keller Williams talks. Gary Keller was on stage. Gary Keller was probably one of our biggest agent attractors because he went on stage and he started bashing EXP and everybody was like, what's this EXP? So thank you, Gary Keller. But these guys are on stage and realtors respect the fact that they're the owners of the company or whatever. When Glenn Sanford is around at an EXP conference, realtors go up to this guy and literally cry on his shoulder.
He's made them. He's made people.
He has changed a realtor's life. So forget about what you know. It
happens every month, right? Like
clockwork.
See, that's, bro, recurring cash flow is the name of the game. Like, even if you have a ton of investment dollars, like think broadly, beyond real estate, beyond everything, just like if you have money to invest and you put it into something, what your goal is to create recurring cash flow.
But how about if you could do it with zero money down?
I mean, listen, that to a lot of people, that sounds like manna from heaven. Like I'm not kidding, right? Like there's I'm not an EXP anything. I support entrepreneurs and if you're trying to get rich or like make a better life for yourself and any of these conversations help you, man, reach out to Rick, reach out to EXP, reach out to Remax even, bro. Like whatever it is.
You know what I respect about you? You don't even have your real estate license, but you're a business dude and you understand entrepreneurship. And you always check in for me from time to time, which I appreciate, by the way.
Likewise.
And you're like, hey, how are things going? Hey, I see you growing this crazy. I did an event the other day. I saw that.
That was actually wild, bro. I want to do one of those.
Yeah, we'll do them.
Let's do it. Yeah. We're going to talk about that. I want to hear about that next, but let's finish the EXP thing.
Yeah, we can do that. I could talk about EXP all day. So I got a friend of mine who was my biggest influence in EXP. He's his name is Jay Kinder. Check this out. Jay. Last name is Kinder. Right? But this guy's got heart. He's got Punjabi blood. So you know what I named him? Jakinder. Put them together. J. Kinder, Jakinder.
I can't even
That's
joke
my name for that boy. Jakinder, what's up? But because Punjabis wear their heart on their sleeves. And but the point is, this guy, I respect him because he was the one that was able to articulate this model to me correctly. My man's making like $500,000 over Canadian a month, passive.
It's wild.
Moved to Puerto Rico, living his best life with his real estate license. Come on now.
Honestly, man, like as long as that real estate train keeps moving, and I believe the real estate train never stops moving. You know, sometimes it slows down. Like I think in a recession, less transactions happen because people want to wait for top dollar. But there's even the people that want to wait, sometimes can't wait, and those transactions got to happen. They got to sell. Like the real estate market's always moving, which creates like the demand. And where we live in Canada, like there's always immigrants wanting to buy more and shit. So there's always a demand for what you do, right?
GTA
like,
is untouchable.
It's wild, bro. It's like I know people don't. We are like New York or San Fran.
What's your take on the market?
Bro, I'm the host. What's your take on the market?
What's my take on the market?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you mine.
No, I respect your.
Do your thing. Yeah. Tell me, what is your take? You see this more than I do, man. I see it on a different side. I see it on the development side.
True.
I'll tell you about that after. But tell me, what's your take on the market?
Just being on the front line of it all, I feel that I do feel that this situation where inflation rates are high and interest rates are high, you can't take that lightly. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I do think you can add an extra zero in your net worth if you do it properly.
I agree.
I don't think you can do it in the GTA.
Yet.
I think that you're better off looking where the market actually hits. Man, the GTA, the problem with it, so the number that I watch is months of inventory.
Okay.
So the whole time that this has been happening, interest rates going up, I've been watching. So there's something called panic mode, right? Right. Panic mode is when everybody starts selling. So what I was watching is how many people are going to start panic selling. Because the essence of the real estate market is demand and supply. Okay. But if supply is not going up, there's not going to be huge price out. Prices are dropping, but there's so much money in the GTA, bro. I don't think
coming in every day, bro. There's planes of immigrants coming into Pearson.
500,000 every year for the next 3 years. So you know what they do here? Market's not good. I'm not selling. Yeah. That's why this city is becoming untouchable. If that inventory was going up, then prices would come down because more supply than demand. But that's going to happen in the US. I think US is going to hit another bottom. I think so too, but that's a great time to buy, man. We're foreign buyers. When the US drops, the Canadian dollar and the US dollar go closer to parity. And then just so you have more buying power and the prices are cheaper. They go below replacement costs. Bro, one of my biggest regrets, you just hit the nail in the head. One of my biggest regrets was 2008.
Man, my favorite time.
Right?
Yeah.
I never had money back then, dog.
I made somebody else money that time.
I made a lot of people money.
I was cool with it though. I learned a ton and I was like, yo, in 10, 15 years when this happens again, I'm going to be ready. So I'm ready. So I'm like, I sold a lot of my properties and I'm like cash heavy. I was waiting. I kind of timed this thing. I'm really happy about this moment, but I do feel. Yo, like sidebar, like the only type of like, if you're also ready, please reach out. We can talk, you know?
Because I'll tell you something, what you're thinking people should pay attention to, because when somebody's successful, you made your money in cannabis, right?
This is the house that cannabis built.
You invited me to a party. We went to the Raptors game. No, check this out. You turned red still?
A little bit.
Let's see. All right. So you invited me to a party. We went to the Raptors game, right? Hannah, Sonia, you and I are wives and us, right? and we ghettoed out, but it was good. We
Yeah,
could have afforded front row. You know what I love about you? You sold your front row seat so you can ghetto out with me and my wife, because we couldn't get tickets.
We couldn't get 4 seats together, so we sold our tickets so that we could go to watch the game at Real Sports.
Real Sports, but we had fun.
So good.
And then we went to the after party, which was that a cannabis kind of thing?
It was actually a blockchain thing. Like, it had nothing to do with cannabis. There was cannabis people.
There's a lot of cannabis people there, dude.
Somehow they're connected.
You know what? One thing that I owe a lot of success to is I'm a good student. And a characteristic of a student is being a good observer. I was watching how those cannabis people approached you, and you were so humble, dude. You are one of the only guys that cashed out at the right time at the peak. Because now that cannabis shit is down.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I've taken my fair share of losses in cannabis too, but I was blessed enough to pull out.
When that deal came up,
did you pull out, bro? You got to know when to pull out.
I know how to pull out, bro. I don't want to.
The pull out game is strong.
Was there ever a time where you're like, I'm not going to sell, or whatever you did?
I had a big existential crisis after I sold. I went through depression, saying I shouldn't have sold.
Why? Tell me about that.
When you build something, imagine I took EXP away from you right now. I gave you all the money that you ever thought you wanted, and I substitute EXP with money. Then what do you do with the rest of your life, right?
How's your baby?
It's it is not selling a child, but it is selling a part of you that you spent a lot of time and effort and sleepless nights and sacrifice. Everything goes into creating something successful. For it to be truly successful, it takes a piece of you, right? At least for me.
So when you sold, it was now what?
I was so hyped about selling and making my childhood dreams of money come true that I was fuck it. Don't even think about that right now. And then literally it happened. And then you're like, now what have I done? Obviously I don't regret any of these decisions, but, I think about it twice, if I wouldn't sell Almega so easily, and anything else that I start, if I don't have to sell it, I don't want to. I love these things. They're great.
This was the first time in this whole interview I forgot the cameras were here.
Really?
Yeah. That was deep.
It's deep. Yeah, that was good. Okay.
So then it's not really about the money. Yeah, you want to say something, but
no,
real
quick, good, bro.
It's not really about the money. It's about the creation. There was a quote.
Are you passionate about what you do? Do you think about money? Is money your driving force anymore?
Bro, I have enough money where I never have to worry about money. I'm not the richest guy in the world, but I'm not the poorest. It's never been about the money for me. For me, my brother passed away in 2011 with brain
I didn't know
cancer.
You want to talk about that. Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up. Yeah.
He passed away in 2011 with brain cancer. I held his hand when he passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So he was on life support and all that stuff, but
it's tough.
It was actually, I'm going to switch that. It was very tough, but it's been a little while. It was actually my greatest gift for 2 reasons. A, I have an angel now. And B, it really showed me the importance of time. It's not money that we're after. We're not after financial freedom. We're after time freedom. So now what I was I just use money as a commodity. So I have that little, that little fire in me. That's
scorecard.
Yeah. So it's if it's about money, then let me get this money. If the rules of the game is about getting money, if that's what's going to buy my freedom, then fuck it. Let me go get this money.
Okay.
Right? So we get this money. Now I buy my time.
At what expense? Would you do anything for money?
No, you got to do it.
Because I'll play a game with you, bro. I got one more question.
I would do very few things for money.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is okay, so the game, the rules of basketball are certain rules. The rules of Monopoly are the certain rules. I just understood that money is a barter system.
Yes.
Money gets you, it's paper, fucking burn it, but money gets you what you want. And what I want is not Ferraris, it's time. I want to be able to go on vacations with my wife.
It's more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go. I don't want to miss my kid's basketball game.
But don't you find that the more successful you become, the less time you have?
but you learn to become a little bit more efficient.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
Efficient, or like,
look
you're
what
like,
we're doing. What is this?
Or you're
what
like,
is
fuck it.
Monday
Like,
at 12:30.
I don't care to.
You work when you want to work.
You know what it allows you, the entrepreneurship lifestyle with all of it is not perfect, and it is painful a lot of the time, but I think that there is the ability, the freedom to say no, I don't want to do something, is worth a lot to me. It's worth more than almost anything to me, to be like, no, I don't want to do this, or you need to leave,
very important.
or you need to or I just don't need to be around you anymore, or whatever the scenario of the no is. That to me is like, that's the best part about this whole experience. I'm like, you're in control.
Okay, let's play a game. Let me take you back to a time, whether it was school or a 9 to 5 or whatever it was. Okay. Did we do all our shots?
No, bro. We finished those before we started.
Why do I want another shot? Yeah. You're killing me. Okay. listen. Whether it was school,
make that happen.
What was school or a 9 to 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you, let's go back, okay? I'm going to give you that feeling of being very ecstatic on a Friday evening.
Yeah.
Because you were done your work week or your school week. Friday.
For sure.
Right? And that sinking feeling that came into your belly when it was Sunday evening.
Yeah, you don't want to go to work anymore.
You don't want to go to work. And that horrible feeling when your alarm clock rings on that Monday morning, when you got to wake up when you don't want to wake up.
When you pre-wake up, you wake up at 4 a.m. because
you're so happy. Like, I got 2 hours of sleep left. And then getting on the SkyTrain, the GO train, or driving to work. Man, the reason why I preach that to my kids is because I don't want them to live that life. They only got one, bro. They just got one life.
Death makes you realize that exact point. Like the things you care about, the things you stress about day to day, often like it's in your own head, and like no one else cares. I'll tell you something about this podcast. Like, I sweat this podcast.
What do you mean?
I don't, even though I believe we are both very social people, and like I think that I can carry on a conversation, I've lived a life of like burying or not disclosing my feelings or anything to be like, I'm not a public person, or I'm typically not a public person unless I've been drinking. But
no, I'll tell you the answer to that.
Okay.
It's because you've done what most people want to do, and you're humble.
I want to share.
No, you want to share.
This is real. We are two people that, I will 1,000,000% guarantee 0% of my high school teachers, maybe one, Mr. Greg Lee, would have bet on me to succeed. The vast majority of them were like, yo, this kid needs to like get a wood shop job or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with the trades. But like they discounted and dismissed because I didn't take myself seriously. I didn't do like you eventually the path to success is accepting that it's up to you and not somebody else. And it takes a lot of people a lot of time to figure out that dynamic. But this thing, speaking out in public, is very uncomfortable to me. But the information that I know gets transferred when you and I have a conversation maybe is picked up by somebody that hears it and becomes the next better version of what we are.
You owe it to the younger Basem. You owe it to that kid that's a younger Basem that actually listened to that teacher when that teacher said, you ain't going to become nothing. You need this platform for them. You need this platform so they can say, hey, you know what? Like, I can do this. So it's really about inspiration.
See, when we come back here in a year, how many agents do you have? What's the goal? What's the driving force? Is it agents?
Yeah. Right now it's agents, but one of the things that I pride myself on is being a few steps ahead.
Okay.
So anybody that's watching this podcast, I recommending 2 books. Yes. I never read in school. Yeah, here we go. We're going to do some homework. Principles by Ray Dalio and the next 5 moves by Patrick Bet David, right?
Yeah. So don't like be 100% sure about these names because like Steve Ballmer, remember?
Shit, what did I call him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Scotty Pippen?
Scotty.
But you get the story. So the actual end goal for what you're asking me is to become the bionic man.
Okay.
I want to make my money now. So in my 50s, I can do like the oxygen therapy, the stem cell therapy.
Are you going Botox? You're going to go like Botox and hair? Turkey? Are we rocking turkey? I don't want to eat Fred's, bro. I just need Fred's.
Some guy asked me, I'll do the tattoo thing for free. Because he wants up his business.
No, I don't. You know what? I've seen it done well like 2 times. I've seen it done poorly 100 times.
I'm good. This is not about aesthetics. This is just about longevity. Because I'm a late bloomer.
Okay.
I wasn't born with a silver spoon. Either were you.
Yeah.
And I finally...
That doesn't make us late bloomers. We just had a different path.
I like it.
Different path.
Yeah, I like it.
We're not late.
Yeah. Different
There's
path.
not a time.
So one thing but I'm an observer. One thing I see people in their 50s and 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
They let themselves go, their knees hurt and all that stuff is because they don't take care of their health.
True.
So actually you asked me what the end goal is. It's not age. It's the end goal is to build enough passive income. So during my later years, I can work more on giving back and my health. That's when I'm going to write the books and go on top of mountains and do those spiritual things, whatever the hell people do. You know what I'm saying? But I need my health in order to do that. I don't want to worry about money.
Yeah.
That needs to be taken care of. That passive income stream needs to be taken care of. So right now,
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like you got to take care of your food and your sustenance, and then
it goes to self-actualization, self-love, and all that kind of stuff, right? First is just safety, I think. Survival. Yeah. So actually, that's the end goal. The end goal is going to come from health and spirit. And right now it's wealth and relationships.
But for the next couple of years,
I'm going to get a hella agents.
Yeah, growing agents.
You know what?
If you're trying to get in this game, contact my boy Rick. Yeah.
I'm trying to, you know what? It's funny because I'm lucky enough to be part of an organization where I get paid for bringing real estate agents to a place that's better for them.
I think the fact that you're providing an alternative is enough to pique people's curiosity, and then they will ask their questions. And you can't convince anybody to do anything. They convince themselves.
I was speaking in front of about 300-400 people the other day.
Yeah, this guy went full. You went Grant Cardone on us very quickly, very quickly. Like
and it's going to get bigger because anyway, before I forget, one of the things that I said. I'm looking for that young Basem, by the way. I didn't say that on stage. So one thing of that thing of why I was so powerful in my message in me. I don't know how people
dicey
took
commodity. Yeah, he wasn't as refined.
I don't know how people took from the message, but one thing I do when I'm on stage, I'm like, I'm not looking for everybody.
Right.
I'm looking for that somebody. I'm looking for that somebody that needs to hear this message right now.
For sure.
You know, I'm not trying to be all things to all people. I'm done with that shit because I want people out there that resonates with me. Who says you can't be a bald guy that wasn't, coming from the best? We had great upbringing, but we didn't have a silver spoon.
Let's be more candid. There's not a lot of like successful brown people in Canada yet. Yeah. Like our generation, we were.
But who says you can't look like us, people. Listen to friggin' hip hop, drive in the summertime, fucking drive your car with big music, loud music, roll your wheel down and not be a multimillionaire? Why? Why does it have to be a white collar thing? So I'm looking for, I want to talk to those people that think that they don't fit in that mold. And I think you're really doing the same thing with this podcast.
I don't even know what I'm doing with this podcast, but yet, to be honest, I like speaking super candidly. I was like, I think people would like to hear these conversations. Professionally, what I'm trying to do in the next little while, I can't even talk about. It's so weird. I'm applying to get my exempt market dealer license. I've told you about this a few times.
Let's talk about that because you've been...
No, it's like, I can't even talk about it. Like, I really can't. It's so... until I get that license, I can't do the act of raising money.
Okay, but what do you want to do?
With that license, I am allowed to seek capital from accredited investors who I don't know previously through a family and friends relationship. Right. Which allows me to expand my network, which then means like, instead of doing like, I can only do like, you know, we've been talking about this a lot. Our communities are startup communities. We all flew in on a plane at some point in our lives, and we hit the ground running in Canada, and we're trying to like get things up and running. That doesn't usually generate intergenerational wealth, right? So most of the people I know have $100,000 to $200,000 to $500,000 to invest. When you're trying to do big real estate development projects, that's just not enough, man. And like you need people that can write, you need to be able to write 20, 30, 40, $50 million checks. Cash.
So do you do the method where you go after that segment?
I haven't up until recently. Like everything I've ever done has been with, you know, what'd you call it? A PhD?
Papa has dough?
Papa has dough. Yeah. I call it OPM, other people's money, right?
Yeah.
Everything I've done up to this point has been me talking to my family and friends who were so kind as to support my endeavors and to believe in me. And we grew wealth together, right? I put in a lot of sweat equity because I didn't have cash. And then I would take their money and grow it. And I get a percentage of the profits.
Is it hard raising money?
Is it hard raising money? I think without the right pedigree, which I don't believe I have, it is. Like if you were in investment banking and then you went into private equity and you knew all the institutional capital that spreads out the money in investment communities, 1,000,000%. I've been in the trenches, operational, trying to figure out how to do things step by step in specific businesses. So I don't have the Rolodex. I don't know the CEO of Aimco or CPPIB or Brookfield or whatever it is. And even if I did know them, they're not giving me cash until I build 10 buildings, and then they can say on their like due diligence checklist, this person has done this before. I'm literally trying to do it from scratch. It is difficult most of the time to raise capital because I'm always doing the next thing. It's not like when I first started raising money, I was buying apartment buildings that were existing, that produce cash flow, like investors were taking a jump off of the ground floor with me. They didn't really care. It wasn't that big of a risk. Then I started doing renos. Then I started doing like repositionings. And then I started doing land plays. So like with each passing thing, I'm doing more and more risky projects. But to get to the next phase, which is construction, and that's ultimately like the end goal, you're talking about like hundreds of millions of dollars and something called construction guarantees. And like, it's like a big boy game. So it takes either a really large community of people, like you can raise it small dollars a lot at a time, or you get like a big daddy to write you like a $50 million check, like a Brookfield or an Aimco or whatever, like an institutional investor to write you that.
I think you're the one to do it, man.
I want to do it individually, man. These are my people. I
want to do that too. You want to help the people.
I mean, like, but that whole industry, very similar to the like an EXP style, like it's got a bit of a taint because there's people that have done it in the past that have scammed people. Right? Like, you know, I don't want to say like specific names and examples, but there's people. No, it's not my podcast. Yeah. Right? But it happens, right? Like people raise money. The people that they're raising money from are believing based on the person selling them that they're telling the truth, but the project has no merit, or the structure of the project or the way that their money is going into it is not very protective of them. So there's problems with all that too.
I think you're doing it a better way, man.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Is there like parting messages you want to give to the people? Say anything that you want, bro.
Anything
that you want.
Don't come on this podcast unless you have writing off the rest of the day, because I didn't know this was going to happen.
I've already accepted that I'm going to do this only on Fridays. Friday afternoon. This is a Friday afternoon podcast.
This is good.
Not Monday morning.
parting words is just basically, listen, if you have a desire to do something, just get in the right room. Today I walk into, this guy's living in a castle. And like I said, he treats it like a basement apartment. Surround yourself with people that are doing big things and just copy and paste in your industry. That's what I'm doing. That's what he's doing. That's what you do. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel, and
get good mentors.
If you're a real estate agent, you want to know more about EXP, you call me.
Call me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Rick, thank you so much for coming on.
That was awesome, bro.
Thank you. As always, if you want to hear more podcasts, please tune in. You can find more episodes on basemhanna.com. That's BASEMHANNA.com. You can also find me on Instagram and LinkedIn. Till next time, thank you for tuning in. Peace.